Now that's an intro. Everybody, I'd love to introduce you to my friend Istvan. Istvan's also a colleague. Do you want to say hi?
Thanks for having me. Hi,
You're
everyone.
very welcome. I'm glad for you to be here. So I want to explain to everybody what we're doing because this is a new not platform. It's a new series for us. So we, the crypto recruiters, have a network of over 150,000 people. This includes hiring managers, founders, candidates. And my goal is to bring attention to more candidate profiles. I want to get your name out there. I want more people to see you. If I can help people find a job, fantastic. But if someone else can help you find a job and I've made you more visible, fantastic, goal accomplished. So really excited to have you up here. And you were a software engineer turned marketing community manager. I really want to hear your story.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting stories. Some might say I've been doing. I worked in construction for 12 years on technical side, like legal tenders, etc. And then I switched from that to learning code, and then turned myself into a software developer, which I'm still doing, by the way. And then in 2020, I got into crypto, like started investing in it before I knew all about Ethereum and Bitcoin, but I never invested, right? So I got into crypto and I got into a project which is dead right now. It was a CeFi company, and done my research, joined the Telegram, paying attention, learning, etc. And then they had an ambassador program. Signed up. It was interesting. Made a 30-page PDF, which what the project does, so people can just share it. It was interesting. It was pretty cool. Like got 3,000 downloads, etc. So they wanted to hire community managers. They needed more people, and I became friends with one of the guys who were working there for a long time, like early days, and he recommended me. So I got hired, and after I don't know, a couple of months, I got promoted to be in charge of all the other community managers. So my title became community communication specialist. The reason for this was we needed to make sure that everyone who communicates with people, I mean clients, does a good job and doesn't give out information which is untrue, right? So that was pretty important, and still is, in my opinion. And after the company went bankrupt, got into another company, which is one of the biggest
Wait,
marketing.
back up.
Go ahead.
What was the company that went bankrupt? I know you
Ah,
don't want to say it, but I think we
Celsius.
need to know.
It was
Celsius. So you
Celsius.
were a community lead at Celsius, which is a great role. Your network was huge. Your community was huge. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but keep
Yeah, we
going.
had we had 1.8 million users who used the app, 600,000 active users, 200 and something thousand Twitter followers, really big Telegram, Reddit, all. So I was working 8 hours, but actually I was working more like 15 because I was, it's like the dopamine, just being there and interacting with people, even when you're not on shift. So it was fun. It was a really good learning experience.
What was your favorite part about that job?
Uh, The favorite part was just helping people. Obviously, in hindsight, what happened. But in hindsight, being in communication with clients and the so-called community and interacting with people, and I met a lot of interesting people. Like imagine people who were mining ETH back in, I don't know, 2015, and they had a lot of ETH, so they shared their story, or other people who had less money but a different country, different culture. So that really made my day. It was a pleasure working, and the satisfaction when someone comes to you for help and they're desperate, they forgot their password, I don't know, whatever, and when you end the conversation, they're happy. there's no better feeling like, apart from that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I was thinking about this last night. So, what's really cool about my job is I know like all these leaders and these innovators, these founders. And I was thinking last night, I was like, if we were to start a project, we've got like the whole network. I could just get advice from like everybody. And I think the same is with community management. Like you get to build these deep relationships and friendships, let's call them, and rely on those in the future. And what I loved about your story so far is that you said you got the job through someone in your network.
Yeah.
Right. You joined the Telegram, you brought value, and then they hired you. And I can't tell you, I love this success story because so many people, I mean, this is a great way to get jobs, but you got to put in the effort first. I actually, there was a gentleman that messaged me on LinkedIn, and his message was filled with misspellings and slang, and it was a very not professional message. And so I politely responded, and I was like, "Hey, at with this communication style, I wouldn't be able to represent you to my clients. Would you like to try again and start over?" And he says, "Before I put any effort into that." And I was like, "Hmm,
Mm.
okay." He
Yeah.
was like, what are the top 3 skills that you need to get into crypto? And I said, effort.
Yeah, I mean,
So you
you
got to put the effort in, whether it's with a recruiter or with a hiring manager or with a colleague, you've got to put that effort in when it comes to crypto because that will skyrocket you.
it's interesting because you need to put your foot in that door. Like you need an opening. And in crypto, it's not like in your hometown, you're looking for a physical job and you might know someone and you get hired. You always interact with people who you don't know. Maybe they're behind a PF, like an NFT PFP, right? You don't know who that person is. So they don't know you. You don't know them really. Only you interact. So you have to demonstrate somehow that you have value. You are serious. You'll be present. They can rely on you because working in this industry, we're all remote, right? So whoever hires you needs to make sure that you'll be on that job, you'll do your tasks, and there's no so-called drama, right?
Mhm.
And as community managers, what's really important, and many people don't know this, I mean, don't think about this. It's not like just moderating a Telegram group and we're all kumbaya. There are people who have problems. You are an interface between the community, the clients, and the company because every information you gather from the community, you have to give it to management so they
Oh,
can improve. Because you have like I say that there are two categories. One's those who use the platform but don't hold the token, those who only hold the token but never use your project, and those who hold the token and use the project, right? So in crypto, price goes up and down and people get nervous, then that's the drama, or some technical issues can arise, then you have to make sure to give that information to the team. So it's really not about only talking to people. It's more complex. And then
yeah.
at Celsius for 1.5 year, I went through a lot, like a lot. So it was a really good learning opportunity for me.
What did you do after Celsius? Like, what was the next step?
I took a break, honestly, just took 2 months off away from Twitter. Like, obviously, that bankruptcy hit me really hard. It was, but I came back, started making more memes, having fun. And then I posted a meme at the right time. Someone saw it and reached out to me. Look, you want to come work with us? And it was a pretty big marketing company in crypto. I don't want to name names,
Okay.
but went through two different interview processes, like a discussion, and started collaborating with them. But they managed the projects I worked on were pretty big, and collaborated with them until last year. There was not a lot of work, bear market things, so I needed something more consistent. And that's the second job. And the third one, I was working for someone you know what I did? Made memes. Made like 700 memes in like um I don't know, a year and a half, something like that. So this was the second company.
And how did we meet?
The same way, the same way. I saw a post. I think there's a mutual friend of ours on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and she promoted you that you provide the best services in crypto recruiting. And I didn't know you. I didn't know you, right? And I replied to him, "Does she need memes?" And you replied, "Of course I do." So we started chatting. We set up a call, and you didn't even want to see a resume or anything. We just clicked.
Yeah. I mean, that's half the battle. There are a ton of companies that don't see resumes. They just hire people through their network. They hire based off referrals. I mean, when I talk to people, 9 times out of 10, I don't ask for a resume before that conversation because I just want to get to know them as a person. Now, I want to bring up a comment from Jeremy. Effort is what I have. What I don't have is the knowledge. Are people happy to teach? Yes. People want to talk about blockchain. They want to talk about crypto. They are actively invested in growing this community. Join discords, join telegrams, ask questions. If you're new to the space, people are going to be more than happy to start teaching you about the space to get you involved. That's the best part about Web3 is it's all about community. Want to bring up Randy really quickly. What a great compliment. Great conversation. Istvan, he's doing all the work here. And yeah, so we got a couple great comments going on here, Istvan. Now, I know we're kind of going back to Celsius, which is bringing up some PTSD, but
Go
how
ahead.
many people did you manage there?
After I got promoted, so I was between my manager and the community managers. We were like 16 community managers, and so 15 basically with my. And it wasn't like micromanagement. It was just certain things happen. This is what you say, and only this. Like you
Mhm.
had to have a structure. Not everyone just give their opinion, because when you're
Yeah.
in this position, you represent the company. You are not talking for yourself. If you want to talk for yourself, you remain a community member, right? So there are legal issues. There can be multiple types of issues if you're not uh, you have to pay attention what you say. That's the point. So I was doing this, and apart from this, I was gathering also information about possible hack attempts, FUD, people having issues. So I was actively scanning Twitter, for example, for possible issues. So what we did is came up with the idea. Let's not wait until clients come to us with their problems. Let's reach out before they come to us if we can help, right? So there's different little things that when you tweet about a certain product that you're having issues with, it just hits different when that company reaches out to you and
Yeah.
tries to help you solve your problem
Mm-hmm.
than you having to write to their I don't know, support website, and you're actually talking to a chat GPT service. Like it's not the same. It's not the
Yeah.
same.
We need a human touch. We
Yeah,
definitely need a human touch. So, correct me if I'm wrong. You managed 15 people?
yeah.
What do you think they would say about you if I were to talk to them and say, "Hey, how was your experience with Istvan?" What do you think they would say about you?
In my opinion, they would say that I was a good, not manager, but a good colleague. I never called myself a
There you go.
manager. I was just in charge of certain things, which information I provided to them. I never considered myself like, I'm your boss, you need to listen to me. If you're in charge of something and you do a good job, and someone comes in and tells you that, look, I like your idea, but here's another perspective. And you listen to it, you make a decision. Ultimately, a manager's job is just to make a decision, which hopefully goes into the right direction. It's not about ego. It's
Mhm.
about making the decisions, in my
I like
opinion.
that. I like where you're coming from. I mean, it sounds like you're a very in the weeds person. I mean, just to explain a little bit deeper. So, Istvan, actually works with the crypto recruiters. So he is one of our community managers, marketing assistants, ghostwriter. And you've just done an incredible job helping us cultivate this community and helping us maintain it. So I think one of the challenges has been with community managers, written verbal communication, and your communication is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. I think you do a really great job communicating with our network and making them feel, like it's inclusive, like we care about them because we do. So thank you so much for helping with our business. And we're delighted to have you here so that way other people can utilize your skills. But yeah, your memes are on point, dude. Like your memes are on point on Twitter. I've got alerts set up for you. So anytime I see them, I'm just like, yep, yep, yep. What I want to start doing, and I'd love your help on this, is I think every week I want to do a meme dump for LinkedIn. So let's just collect all the memes and then do a whole post about them. I think that would make people laugh a little bit.
Yeah, like without
Um,
memes, life is just not the same. I mean, especially in crypto, right? Like without
yeah.
memes.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm reading the comments. Jeremy has a question. I'm going to get back to you at the end of the conversation. And then we've got Randy who says you both have excellent microphones. May I ask what you both have? Clarity for clients, associates is vital. Thank you. What do I have? What is this bad boy? I'm not sure, but it lights up. I like it a lot.
When podcast.
What do you have?
I'm just on a Mac. It's a MacBook.
My PC mic sucks. It
Hmm.
sucks. So I had to get this. But thank you, Randy. I'm so glad it's coming through nice and clear. Now, Istvan, culture fit. Culture fit is the biggest reason for turnover. I know firsthand that you're a very easygoing guy. What kind of culture are you looking for? Do you want a hectic startup? Do you want something a little more mid-sized where there's processes and procedures in place? Do you want to go enterprise? Like what's the goal? Where do you think you fit in best?
I'm not sure I can answer your question on your terms. On my terms is finding the right tribe where
There you
we
go.
can celebrate each other's success, and together we can celebrate the company's success. So size doesn't matter. It's more like supporting each other on what we do, even if we don't know what they're doing. If they have a success, we're happy for them. And egos come in the way everywhere, like this is not, but until the support for each other in the community, I mean in the company, is bigger than the egos and less drama, then it's perfect.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think that's the best thing about Web3. It's all good vibes,
Yeah.
and I know that there's a lot of companies that are very dedicated towards fostering a positive community within their company, but additionally, I'd love your opinion on this. How important is work-life balance to you? Because I found in Web3 it's not something that's always very valued. How do you feel about it?
uh, when I was working for Celsius, for example, told you that I instead of 8 hours a day, I was hooked 15 hours, but not because I had to, because it was so much fun back then. Then the work-life balance was just like that, right? Obviously, if you have like certain personal situations, emergencies, etc., put down the phone, take care of that. When you can get back to it, you can get back to it. But uh you have to know that whenever you have an emergency or some bad days, I don't know, you need to take a couple of days, because community management drains you. Like there's no two ways about it. This thing drains you over time, right? And you need a week off. Take the week off, get back to it when you feel like it, and then that's it.
I mean, we don't talk about burnout in Web3 enough, honestly. Like, nobody talks about this, and it's real. Burnout in Web3 is real because it's like a fire hose of constant information. I mean, you're just drowning in the news every day. I mean, I know I have to spend minimally an hour just keeping up with what happened over the day. Um, so yeah, I think burnout in Web3 is real, and it is important to take breaks, and it is important to work with a company that understands that mental health is important, and we work hard but we play hard. So I like those values of yours. interesting question for you, and let me know if you'd like an example about myself. What is something that someone might misunderstand about you?
Um, People might think I'm arrogant sometimes,
Okay. Why?
but the way I sometimes I explain things, I can take it to multiple levels. Depends on who I'm talking to.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think this is the worst thing that someone could. Like, I seem arrogant, but I never have bad intentions. Like I never have. I
I've
don't.
never gotten that vibe from you ever. I've gotten the confidence vibe, but never the arrogant vibe.
Confidence, arrogance. There's a fine line. Depends who you're talking to. So
Very
if your
true.
opinion that I'm confident, thank you. Maybe if someone else hears me, they will say that, oh, look at this arrogant guy.
Istvan, what's your biggest pet peeve personally?
Uh, you got to rephrase that for me.
So, my biggest pet peeve is when people are late. Even if it's a minute, I do not like when people are late.
Mine is being rude. If someone's
Mhm,
rude, I like as much as I would love to help you, I will shut that discussion down in like 5 minutes. Like
mhm,
if I give you three attempts to calm your voice and you're rude to me personally, like I have a lot of empathy because you have problems. But if you continue to insult, like I will close down that conversation.
mhm. Which seems,
Boundaries are important. Like there's,
yeah, boundaries are important. Now, have you ever been in a situation at work where you've closed a conversation? Have you ever done that at work where you've closed a conversation because someone's, cursing at you and yelling at you? How do you handle that in a community setting?
I had examples like this, but there weren't that many. So it's not like this thing happens all day, every day. They're just once
Hmm.
in a while, right?
No.
So it happened to me as well. But what I did was looked up who that customer is. It's gonna sound bad, but we checked out his size. Like, how is he a big whale or just someone who likes to be loud?
Hmm.
And when I saw that, look, we're not going anywhere with this discussion. Thank you. Have a nice day. Let us know if we can help with anything else. Like it's, you know,
Hmm. Some people just want to be troublemakers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's normal. It's normal. You have people who are always negative, and then you
Hmm.
have to lift them up. Or you always have people who are ultra positive, which is nice, right? They bring the fire to the community. So you have all these types of people, and you have to, like, in the first couple of minutes of interaction, you have to figure out, okay, how am I going to talk to this person so we're on the same page, so
Yeah.
we can connect. Okay, we can discuss technicals only, but let's discuss as human beings, not like just a client server setting.
Well, I think that's what makes your application so attractive, Istvan, is you do have the technical background. You can talk tech with these people. You know what I mean? You really deeply understand it. And I'm sure you can also bring value on a team that might need a little software engineering help here and there.
Yeah,
But I know community management is really your passion.
yeah. When I was younger, uh 20 years old, I've been a DJ for 3 years as well. So
Really?
I loved the crowd control. So I think that's why I really love this job as well. And software development is fine, it's fun, but this is totally different. So that
Totally.
excites me, right?
Well, that's what's so cool. I mean, usually software engineers are a little bit more introverted, a little bit more happy just to stay to themselves and just stay in their group of friends. But you're very outgoing and you like meeting people. You like talking to people on the internet. And I think that's a great quality of yours. Where are you based again?
I'm in Romania.
And are you more of a morning person or a night owl?
I am a little bit of both. So I sleep around 7 hours a night.
Very nice.
That's it.
I know you and I are always working at like 11, 12 your night, 11 p.m. and 12 p.m. in your evening, which is like not that late for me. So I always appreciate you being there. Okay, interesting question additionally. What is the best lesson that you've learned throughout your career?
The biggest lesson was related to this interpersonal communication.
Okay.
Uh, Everyone has problems. Just because I have a bad day doesn't mean that I have to transmit that to other people. So
Hmm.
that's the biggest lesson. And yeah, it that's one. And the second was with the interface between community and company. That's another big one. Because many
Good.
people think that you just have to be the hype man. No, as a community manager or community lead, or you want to bring good news to the community, right? You want to give big news, big partnerships, all these things to the community. But it's not only about that, it's about progress. Every project needs to evolve, especially in Web3, where every day at least five interesting other projects come up, right? So it's that. And we have to do a lot of research as well. It's not just we read messages. You have to do research. You get an idea from a different community, send it to the marketing team. They can work on a plan or some kind of a, I don't know, something fun. So it's more than just talking to people.
I love
It's
it. Mr. Randy has a comment for us. Both of you have such genuine and authentic personalities and dispositions. Well, thank you. We try. Actually, we don't try. This is just who we are. You are both very inviting with your speech and the pace of the conversation style. This is an awesome live. This is such an amazing interview and podcast. Maybe we could turn it into a podcast. I'm truly wowed. I appreciate how both of you have taken your time to educate and enlighten us. Thank you. P.S. Dang, Istvan, dropping bombs. I like it. Thank you, Randy, for your support. I want to jump back to Jeremy. Jeremy, am I saying your name correctly? I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. I apologize. But Jeremy is he just joined a bunch of Web3 job boards, but his experience seems so old school next to this technology. Are there any resume hacks, best practices, way to make yourself a solid contender, a top recruit? All great questions. It really depends on your background, right? So if you are if you're a developer, right, taking some additional courses, doing some internships, just doing your own project could be really beneficial. On your resume, you can have your work experience, but you can also have your project experience. So that way it's showing Web 2 and Web 3. I think experience in Web 3 is always going to be critical. And it's tough, right? Because the barrier to entry is hard, especially with all of these layoffs. Right now, companies are really prioritizing those that have crypto experience. I mean, it's the truth. I'm being real with you guys. So you've got to get a little something under your belt, right? Go to a Discord channel of a company that you're really passionate about. See how you can contribute. Join a DAO. Take a certification. Any resume hacks? That would be my resume hack. Add projects on there. But also you want to add keywords. So, keywords are how the applicant tracking system searches resumes, and it's how we find people on LinkedIn. So make sure that your profile is fully built out with all the right keywords. And even if you don't have that blockchain experience, use your about section to say, I'm extremely interested in blockchain, crypto, Web3, DeFi, metaverse, what else? I'm missing something. AI. You can put those keywords in your bio on LinkedIn and your resume will still come up on that search, right? Maybe you're not the perfect fit for a job, but maybe it's, they're going to give you an opportunity. Jermaine, thank you so much for teaching me how to say it correctly. Istvan, last question for you. How has your experience been with recruiters? Not just us, but I'm interested to hear your feedback on working with recruiters in general.
I don't have that much experience, to be honest. After Celsius, I know I joined a couple of interviews, which didn't work out for multiple reasons, but all of my gigs basically came from this person to person interaction. Like,
Yep.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like a meme here and there, a question like, do you need help? I can do this. uh, Someone reached out to me with a private Telegram group, and she had a pretty big project. Uh, Hi, do you want to make memes for me? And do you want to manage my social media accounts? Because I don't have time. Of course I will. Of course, like there's no issues. And I managed to grow her Twitter by 20% in like 3 months, something like that. With these little things, but you just gotta be present. You gotta add value, even if you're a clown. Like make good jokes. That's enough. Like sometimes that's enough.
It really is. I mean, you just got to be you. To Randy's point, right? Being genuine, authentic, I think is half the battle. There's a lot of people that are fakes in this space. A lot of fakes. It's kind of funny to watch them on LinkedIn and Twitter and kind of flounder around. But I think being authentic and genuine is really the key to success, and just meeting as many people as you can, right? So I firmly believe previous community managers have a leg up when it comes to their job search, because you're already a part of the ecosystem. You already have connections. You already have people that you've been speaking with. So I do think networking is half the battle, but also working with recruiters is a good thing. If you're interested in working with a recruiter, reach out. Recruiters are always okay. Let me take a step back. Most recruiters are always happy to chat. And if a recruiter, I want to say this, if a recruiter doesn't get back to you, don't be offended. Don't be offended. Don't let it hurt your feelings. I never want to think that recruiters are acting maliciously, just because like I have never acted maliciously and things have fallen through the cracks with me. And so I just want to believe that other recruiters aren't acting maliciously. But continue to reach out to a recruiter that doesn't respond. I mean, I'm getting 100 messages plus a day. Istvan knows. We're getting a lot of messages every day. And so sometimes it's hard to keep up. So if you don't hear from us, ping us again. And if you get a negative response from a recruiter because you're blowing up their inbox, you don't want to work with them anyway. So Istvan, it was a pleasure to speak with you today. Is there anything else you think our network needs to know about you? I don't even know why I'm calling it my network, our community. Is there anything else our community needs to know about you to reach out to employ you?
I'll make memes, good ones.
I make memes. He does make memes. This is true. He does make memes, good ones too. What's your Twitter handle?
0xCMO_bro.
0xCMO_bro. I love it. Is LinkedIn an okay place to get a hold of you as well?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, wonderful. Anybody have any other questions for Istvan? We're going to sit here for a minute, and I just want to wrap up with Istvan, thank you again for coming up, and thank you for everything you've done for our company. You have been such an asset, and I'm so glad to be helping you with this interview. And the reason that we have this interview is Istvan is part-time with us. And you're just the bomb.com, dude. You're just the bomb.com. Last comment from Mr. Carlos. My experience mainly is in Forex and commodities in the last 4 years. I've been working myself with a crypto, and my world has opened up a lot because this in the industry that I believe everybody has an opportunity because the world is changing so much. Absolutely agree with you, Carlos. Absolutely agree. I think Web3 is just, I've seen nothing like it. I've seen nothing like this community. I come from financial services. There were a bunch of crab apples in financial service. I was constantly like, I would call someone and they'd be like, Emily, never effing call me again. I would that would hurt my feelings. And that has not happened once in Web3. I've never gotten someone speaking, meanly to me in Web3, and I love it.
I would add one point to this, if you don't mind, a short
Please.
one. If you want to move from Web 2 to Web 3, take everything and every experience and every skill you have from Web 2, use Web 3 and find a way to connect those. But when you want to do a transition, make sure at least you know how to use MetaMask. That's that's the first thing, or send Bitcoin in a wallet. And then if you want to go deeper, then you can make the move.
Awesome. Istvan, what a pleasure. Great to see your face. I'll talk to you later today, but thanks for coming up.
Thank you very much.